Newcastle, heart of the northeast and home of the Fog on the Tyne.
It's in the language now, Fog on the Tyne. It was just a foggy, dirty industrial place. It was also nicknamed the Kingdom of Bronchitis.
In the early 70s, Lindisfarne put Newcastle on the music map with their worldwide success.
We're in New Zealand, we're in Japan, we're in most of Europe, the States.
Throughout the years of globetrotting, these Geordies never forgot their roots. They were very proud of their identity.
What an identity it is to be a Geordie.
The dictionary definition, if there is one, would be that a Geordie is a person from Tyneside.
Very passionate, very proud people.
Still a bit of a mystery to me, strange creatures.
Over the last 40 years, the town on the Tyne has been the inspiration to a stellar array of talent.
It's been a catalyst for lots of artists and groups.
The North East has produced some pretty damn good musicians.
Maximo Park to the Future Heads.
The Animals.
Trevor Horn's a genius.
Mark Knopfler, Neil Tennant.
Hank Marvin.
Hank Marvin is a genius.
You wouldn't have thought that the Shadows, both Hank and Bruce, were from Newcastle.
We've got Sting, of course, the lovable Sting.
His father was my mother's milkman, believe it or not.
The Animals bass player, Chaz Chandler, was the first to recognise the potential of a young session musician from America.
Chaz, of course, managed Jimi Hendrix. And Chaz was struggling to get an audience for Jimi Hendrix. He just knew that Hendrix was talented. And he brought him back to Tyneside, which is obviously where Chaz was from. And he put him on at the Shieldfield CRU club. And he got paid off at half-time. Because he used to do 2 45-minute sets with a metro and a bingo in between.
In the early 80s, Newcastle became the unlikely focus of what was to become a seminal music television show.
Hello, it's Friday and it's 5:30 and it's...
Welcome to The Tube.
The Tube has been described as an attitude rather than a television programme. Channel 4 wanted a music show not made in London. This was quite hard to accept by a lot of major record companies. The classic example was Madonna, whose first ever TV was on the Tube, but her record company would not pay her rail expenses. So I had to hand Madge a buff envelope containing, I think it was £37.50 for a return rail fare. In each episode, you could see a band you never heard of, you could see a big name that you had heard of, and comedy.
It's Tubby, not Tube, right?
Right. It was this amazing, irreverent mixture.
Welcome to the Tubby.
In the 90s, like most of the UK, Newcastle hit the dance floor. But in the last 10 years, there's been a resurgence in the homegrown live music scene.
Newcastle's got loads of venues of all sizes. The City Hall, the Clooney, which is another nice little venue. And then you've also got, like, the Head of Steam.
Head of Steam is an absolutely fantastic venue. It's got a great atmosphere, it's got a great reputation, lots of live music most nights of the week.
We've got a great pub in Byker called the Cumberland Arms. And that was where we actually kind of got, in inverted commas, signed from.
And today, Newcastle continues to produce new talent.
Hungover Stuntmen are a band who I found at the bottom of my street.
Let's get out of our heads again, just so I can find some peace.
They actually put a CD through my door, and this was a whole CD of songs that they'd written, which were all brilliantly constructed and very well played. And I thought, wow, this is like some talent, you know, and they're just sitting a few doors away from me, so I just felt that I had to help them in some way.
There's a lot of bands in Newcastle, there's a few good bands, and it's not that hard to stick out, really. We just do our own thing, and just hope that people like it, you know.
I had no intention of becoming a manager of a band. You know, it was literally the case that they were so good that I couldn't ignore them. I'm driving the van and carrying the gear, yes. Currently, I'm loving it.
Being in somewhere like Newcastle really puts a stamp on what we are.
It's geographically isolated and it's culturally isolated as a result of that. And I think it means that you get the strength to develop outside of external influences here.
What a great place to start in the Northeast, you know, where you can develop without the music business sticking their dirty little fingers into what you're doing.
You're listening to The Evening Show, introducing with me, James Clark. New bands and new tunes you're not going to hear anywhere else on this station. Coming up very shortly, got the new single from the Futureheads.
I've been waiting by the radio for someone.
I don't think there's a sound for the Northeast. I think there's an attitude, a steely independence.
You know, if you can sing in a regional dialect, do it. Be who you are, be proud of who you are.
I wanna go, who doesn't like the dress to impress. I go with the radio heart. I go with the radio heart.
It's given us a great work ethic, because the further away you live from London, that little bit extra harder you have to try in order to get noticed.
So what can you do to get noticed in the Northeast?
I mean, there are quite a few organisations that try and help out. One most in particular is Generator. Generator is trying to help bridge the gap between starting being in a band and actually becoming a professional band.
It's a popular music development agency, so there's various things that's involved in the, you know, the encouragement of new music businesses in the region. We put on quite a lot of live shows involving regional bands.
Paul Reed works incredibly hard at what he does, and he's sorted us out many times.
The talent's building up in the region, and you don't want it all to drain away.
My advice to any young band would be just to practice. Don't forget where you're from, and yeah, pay your dues, you know what I mean? Like, take it slow. You know, don't try and just become this massive band, just enjoy every step.
I go with the radio heart.
We're very proud to be from where we are from, you know, because, you know, it's who you are.